So how many frog pirates am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many happy faces? 5. Perfect. I mean, some of those dockyards are going to be absorbed by the convoys, but not actually that many. Oh, and in fact... Oh no, we're fine. Because I don't think they increase in steel cost, they increase in chromium cost. And we produce loads of chromium, and can actually produce even more, because I have not developed my chromium production at all. And we lost another submarine fleet. Bugger. I absolutely love that subs are useful now, though. They used to be so trash. Subs are useful. Destroyers are useful. I would say that light and heavy cruisers are less useful than they used to be, but they can still use float boats, which is really good for surface detection. There are still some nice differences between battle cruisers and battleships. Carriers, obviously, still useful, and actually more useful in a different way. What kind of ships are good for scouting, by the way? Radar destroyers? Light cruisers. Light cruisers with float boats and radar. Float planes, even. I just realised what I'm saying. Float planes. So if you wanted to do a good cruiser, you would go to the cruiser hull. It's basically what my Jack the Ripper's already built for. They have a surface detection of 37. That's with radar 2s. You can go all the way up to 48. Maybe I should do that. Only problem is they are twice as... Well, they're only twice as expensive as a destroyer. And upgrading their radar would also make them significantly better at sub-detection too. I'm going to do that. Let's do this upgrade. Jack the Ripper 2s. It's not a significant upgrade, but it is an upgrade. Am I still building Jack the Rippers? No. Can I refit those Jack the Rippers? Because I feel like I really ought to. See, I don't understand why I can't refit these. Why can't I? All I'm doing is upgrading the radar. Also, these guys are getting a lot of experience. Bloody hell. These are the ships fighting the Japanese. Drinking tea today in honor of me. Well, thank you so much for that, Marshall. Anyone know if you put carriers with CAS on support invasion task, will they use their CAS to support the land invasion? I don't know if they'll do it automatically, but if you do it manually, then yes. The old Jack the Rippers automatically get obsoleted. So yes. See? An update is replaced by spend. Update is basically just if you want to change the name or if you want to change the classification. This is definitely something that could take another look, is the refits. I don't understand why sometimes you can refit and sometimes you can't. Like, just changing the radar feels like something you should just be able to refit. That's not at all clear. And might just outright be bugged. Like, apparently, and I thought this was totally a feature, but it isn't. The fact when you have a template and you have to assign the class, the one to the question mark not working, that's actually a bug. The one to the question mark should just be assign anything of this class. And then you can say specifically, I want this many destroyers if you select that one. Hey Florian, how's the shipyard doing? Struggling a bit. The Germans have a lot of submarines, but we're actually killing loads of those subs right now, but we are still in the negative for convoys. Okay, so that was the improved depth charge, so we are now fully tanked out when it comes to the destroyers. We could get the improved submarines. Was I using snorkels or was I using radar on the subs? That's a good question. Because if I'm just using radar, I'm not going to bother upgrading the snorkel. I feel like I'm just using radar. I am. In that case, I'm going to research better submarines and we're just going to switch to those. I'm so happy I got my new carrier out. Finally. 2 years later. We've got the Ark Royal. $80 aircraft. Acceptable. And in fact, what I'm going to do is, in this fleet, I'm going to say you may now have 2 carriers. I'm going to call this the main carrier fleet. To differentiate it from my regular carriers. I might actually add some more destroyers to them too. Because you want to have roughly between 7 and 8 destroyers per capital ship for full screening. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. So I should really have 64 destroyers in this fleet right now. Yeah, I'm going to add another 10, I think. Because these guys are gonna have to go toe-to-toe with Japanese at some point. I mean, they've kind of been skirmishing, but not toe-to-toe yet. I maybe shouldn't have spent that air experience. I'm gonna get it back quickly enough, I reckon. Borneo's being naval invaded. That's a large naval invasion. To which I'm going to have to say, get out of here. And I can spend points again. War bonds. War bonds right now would be useful. Do it. I, for one, love snorkels. Especially on sub 4s, they make subs pretty much undetectable outside of shallow water. Actually, that's a point. Do I have all of the promotions on my sub-commander? Yes. No, I don't, actually. Concealment expert would give you less visibility, while that would mean that your torpedoes hit harder. I'm going to give you concealment expert. Oh, you can get another trait. Flipping hell. Torpedo expert it is. It's still not quite as good as hell what's his face? Dutchman. It's still not bad. And that should mean I lose a lot less of your submarines now. In fact, I should probably double check that. For some reason the little plus here is not working for naval admirals. So what terrain skills are you getting? You're getting a few. Cunningham definitely should have some. Cunningham still doesn't have like Ironside or air controller. You don't either. See, I really want Ironside, and everyone has a lot of capital ships. Well, the Reds and the Whites do. But they're not getting any experience with it. Likewise, air control. It's 1944 with the British, and I still haven't earned enough to gain those. Like, that's kind of crazy. And the Red one, especially, has been fighting pretty much consistently. What conscription law is Germany up to? They have got service by requirement, 1.5 million. Russia's got all adult serve, 3 million. So Russia still has quite a long ways to go. And you know what? I'm going to send Russia more guns. Oh, flip. No, I'm not. I only have one convoy. I can't afford to send Russia any. Meanwhile, what is America doing? They're just massing troops down here in Africa, but not really doing much with them. Alright, so there are very frequently submarines down there. So I think what I want to do is, with the yellow fleet, I'm going to say add that to the areas you're protecting. Oh, now we want the night operations expert too. I thought I already had that. My bad. That's going to make my bombers like 20% more effective. There's fuel refining 5, which immediately has an impact. And we got all of those. Extraction? No, it's 44. We want to get Lincoln bombers, I think. Or maybe Barracuda, so we can start getting the naval fighters. Or upgrade the Marines, because we're going to need that too. If I invade Spain, the US will likely reinforce and I'll pressure the Axis. Yeah, I mean, I am building a bunch of Marines here with that kind of in mind.
Ready to move.
And actually, speaking of which, let's put you guys in a slightly different unit.
Ready.
So we do have a full army of Marines now. And it was going to be Urbino Diaz who was going to command that. Because I guess the other Marines died. Oh, and it was 3 units that I needed. Try not to be such a moron this time. But now I just need convoys. Oh wow, I need a lot of convoys. I need an awful lot of convoys. Well, as these Frogger pirates get finished, in fact there's only one still to go. 26th of July, 10 days. Maybe I need to have less submarines in production. Again, the subs have been doing a pretty good job against the Japanese. Nah, I'm going to keep building subs. Petfo, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Can I show you American industry? They have got 500-ish factories. 280, 240, 300, 250. So Germany has less civilian factories but more military. The US is probably still industrializing. Ooh, another 2 subs dead. Good. Ooh, lost another one of mine. That's not good. Meanwhile, Japan has got 100 civilians and 130 military. I've got 150 military but only 73 civilians. And the Soviets have got 180 military and 200 civilians. So the Soviets are still also industrializing. I think we've slowed the push. Yeah, Germany's on service by requirement. Oh no, they have been for a while. Alright, Germany's lost almost 5 million. So the number of losses that Germany is suffering have definitely gone up. And I would say that the Soviets are losing less now. Wow, Japan's lost 4 million. Alright, so that's what the US has been... Actually, I know where Japan's lost 4 million. Right here! Because they keep on pushing against the Indians. And there are quite a few American divisions over here defending. When is Borneo not being invaded? It's kind of a constant thing. I'm just going to leave my island defences to handle it. In this patch they really fixed the Axis AI, but the Allies AI is kind of dead. Yeah. I would kind of agree with that. The sleeping giant's become the groggy giant. America in particular is suffering issues. I think one of the big things is Lend-Lease is just broken right now. In fact, I'm kind of curious. If I request Lend-Lease from you right now, because no, America's not sending me anything. And I say, hey, I need motorized. They'll say yes, and then immediately cancel. That's what's wrong with America. America is not itself supposed to fight the battles, it's supposed to equip everyone else. And they can't. And the reason that the Soviet Union is surviving against Germany right now is because of me. I have some very, very tough units over here, especially these guys. Like, one of my favorite new things from this Man the Guns is, I have to say, exiled countries. I really like how they've treated that. Could still do with a little bit of tweaking, of course, but just generally how they function, I like it. Actually, speaking of which... probably have a bunch of manpower more to give me. They do. Poland especially, and Free France. Well, you know what? Once I have researched the upgraded mechanized, I think I'm going to go for the Churchill Kangaroos. Then I'm going to start switching out some of my exile forces for mechanized. 7 destroyers, that's nice. Dutch lost a destroyer. How are my subs doing? Growing. And we're gaining convoys at last. Alright, good. And we don't seem to be losing nearly as many convoys now either. Not to lose that many, do we? Oh, we do. Need more steel. Too much. Ace pilot promoted. Good. How are we doing for aircraft? We're ahead. We've made up the deficit. Fantastic. Alright, let's start bombing... Southern France? Nah, that's Vichy. It's not going to be as important. Eastern Germany, maybe? Can I reach Eastern Germany? I can totally reach Eastern Germany. Nah, let's just keep buffing these guys up. So, Northwest Germany, I'm going to give you another 100. Lancasters. And then I think the English Channel, I'm just going to add more fighters. Bloody hell. Yeah. Battle here has definitely been raging. Let's buff you up to a 500 as well. They're still trying to bomb my ships, which means I should probably get a couple more aircraft on interception duty. That would be you. Let's bring you up to 300. Killed their recon fleet again. They keep trying to round here and then they immediately get annihilated. I don't think Germany's used to Britain actually fortifying the Eastern North Sea. Maybe D-Day before the Soviets die? Maybe. I need to make sure I have the convoys to support that. Right now, I don't think I do. I don't remember what the ratio is. It's like 4 ships per unit. 3 ships, maybe. Okay, more. Ooh, lots of battles. Ah, my submarines are picking up. Oh, right, because they're trying to reinforce this with supply. And I'm intercepting that supply. They're down to 200 ships. I probably outnumber them now. Oh, hell yes, I do. 310. Rule Britannia. Oh, damn it. And as I say that, they sink a bunch of my convoys again. How are we doing? Add some more submarines. Make their life even more miserable. One of my submarine task forces is now at full strength again. See you, Mystery. Japanese are really pushing over here.
Yes, sir.
How close are we to integrating? Well, miles away. Aha! 1944 subhull. Excellent. Oh, that's true. I never actually upgraded my torpedoes. Ever. Should probably do that. I'll even spend the points. I wasn't expecting to become reliant on torpedoes. I wouldn't say I'm reliant, but I do have quite a few. Radar. Torpedoes. Big frickin' engine. More torpedoes. Although that does make you quite expensive. And also quite slow. Torpedo rims don't seem to slow you down very much. I think that's just you are slow. How much is that? 1,100 in comparison to the subs I'm building now. 950. To 960. See, I like that more. In which case I don't necessarily need the 1944s. I could just upgrade these. Whoops. Probably. Because the 44 just adds the extra slot, right? No. Makes you faster as a base. No, wait. No, it doesn't. Does it add? Range? Organization, maybe? 5,000, 80, 60. 5,000, 80, and 60. 6,000, 80. So it adds range and reliability. Yeah, it's the range. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Right, new class, submarine. We are going to call this... Walker. Just because it's such a weird name for a submarine. Alright, and then we are going to replace the imaginary exponents with walkers. Right, and they're also going to cost chromium, so my chromium use is going to skyrocket. My steel use, apparently. And my oil use. We really just need more convoys. You know what, let's... Huzzah! Let's set up another line of convoy production. Ah, Supermarine Spitefalls, excellent. Kubik, thank you very much for the resub, 2 months now. Hey Mordred, thanks for all the fun. You are more than welcome, buddy. Thank you very much for the support. Germany seems to have similar convoy numbers to you. No they don't, because the convoy numbers that they show here is their total amount. So if you click on myself, for example, my total amount is actually 860. So they have about 62 in use and surplus, while I have 860 in use and surplus. Would snorkel make it faster? I don't think so. Jack. I think submarines just in general are slow. So speed's 25. Speed's 25. The snorkel's main use is it reduces the submarine's visibility, which I don't really care about. Right, so we want to make the carrier version of the Spiteful, but we also want to upgrade the Spiteful and then replace the Spitfires with it. So the main thing is the engine for the agility and the max speed, and then weapons. Whoops, not range. Don't actually care about range. And upgrading its weapons means it gets more air attack, which means it's better against heavier planes. So we've got the Spiteful Mark 1, which is then going to replace the Spitfire Mark 2s. Grief, that's expensive in aluminium. Ouch!